Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko 3 is going down this Saturday as the co-main event for UFC 306 at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Buckle up, folks, because this trilogy has been one wild ride. If you remember in the first fight, Grasso was getting pretty much schooled by Valentina. It was all Shevchenko until Valentina decided to throw one of those fancy spinning body kicks, and Grasso was able to time a perfect takedown and get her back, and get a rear naked choke, and get the upset of the century. Then came fight number 2, and oh boy, what a mess. It ended in a draw, but honestly, it felt more like a bad plot twist. One judge was Team Grasso, another was riding with Valentina, and the third judge, well, he gave Grasso a super sketch 10-8 round in the 5th round. I mean, come on, where did that even come from? To this day, I'm still annoyed that Valentina didn't get the W that day, but hey, here we are, and it's the final chapter. Now, when you look at the betting odds, it's tighter than a pair of jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. Both Grasso and Valentina are sitting at a minus 110, a straight up pick'em. And I get why. It feels like Valentina should have won her last fight, at least in the eyes of most fans. But you know what? I'm rolling with Grasso in this one. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. How could you pick Grasso when Valentina basically won the last one and in the first fight she got lucky? Well, listen, I hear you. You made some good points, but Grasso improved between the first and second fight. It's like night and day. She went from getting ragdoll to putting Valentina in real trouble in the second fight. She timed that submission in the first fight perfectly, and in the second, she was winning exchanges, landing takedowns, and even dropped Valentina. That's progress, people. So yeah, I'm Team Grasso this time. She's coming in hot. And I know Valentina's got the grappling advantage. That's been her bread and butter during this trilogy. She practically has been winning a lot of rounds with it. But here's the thing, I've been seeing some serious upgrades from Grasso in the first fight. She got tossed around like someone who was trying to fight off asleep on the couch. But by the second fight, you could see that her grappling defense has leveled up. And now Grasso, she's tough to deal with, especially off her back. She's got some slick get-ups and reversals. Plus, when it comes to boxing and range, Grasso closes the gap faster. And as for Valentina, she's obviously the better kickboxer, sure. But Grasso makes moves in that area too. At the end of the day, I think Grasso is going to be the bruiser fighter. She's going to throw more and land more and make the fight messy. That's where she thrives, when the fight gets scrappy. That's usually when she finds a lot of success. I believe she'll be able to close the distance and catch Valentina with her combinations, especially that crispy 1-2 she's known for. I also think she's got the power advantage in this matchup. Honestly, I expect we're going to see the best version of Grasso, especially when it comes to her boxing in this fight, and that's going to be the key factor in her performance. Now, don't get me wrong, if Valentina was still in her prime, I'd likely pick her in this fight, but it's no secret that she's getting up there in age at the age of 36, and that's a huge factor, especially in these lighter weight classes where fighters rely so heavily on speed. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing the decline of her abilities. Also, it's been nearly a year since her last fight, and I don't like that layoff. When you dominate a division for so long, motivation can be an issue. We've seen it with fighters like John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, and Alex Volkanovski. As champions get older, even the most dominant ones begin to lose their edge. Age wears them down, and they're not as sharp as they used to be. Now, you can tell that Valentina is starting to slow down if you compare her first fight with Grasso to more recent performances. She doesn't throw her jab as crispy as she used to, and you can say the same thing about her kicks. While obviously it's still on a higher level, it looks sloppier than before. Father Time is undefeated, and it seems like it's catching up to her. And to be honest, we started seeing signs of this decline even before the Grasso fight. Take her bout with Talia Santos for an example, or even her fight against Jennifer Maia. I've been predicting she would eventually lose, and when it happened in 2023, I wasn't surprised. Even though she's clearly past her prime, she's still performing at an elite level, and in my opinion, she's the greatest female fighter of all time. On the other hand, you have Grasso, who's in her prime at the age of 31 years old. She's improving with every fight, and I think this could be the end of the road for Valentina. If she loses this fight, I wouldn't be surprised if she decided to hang up the gloves. She's been on top for so long, and while some people still believe that she's gonna dominate Grasso, I just don't see that happening. Now, can Valentina win this fight? Absolutely. It's definitely possible, but she'll need to fight more technical. First off, she can't afford to let this turn into a close quarter brawl. If she can keep Grasso at range, circle the cage more, and stay less stationary, it could be a game changer. Valentina will need to make this more of a kickboxing match, using her superior striking to maintain distance and control the pace. Every now and then, she should try to mix it up with well-timed takedowns, work for dominant positions, and out-grapple Grasso to win the round on the scorecard. And honestly, I don't think it matters much if Valentina does significant damage while she's on the ground. I know the damage criteria is a big deal these days, but let's be real, the judges don't always seem to follow it strictly. If she can control the fight from a distance, mixing it up with takedowns, and then she's got a legitimate path to victory. Valentina is smart enough to know how to score points with effective control and cage management, even if she's not hurting Grasso as much as people might expect. But still, like I mentioned earlier, I'm leaning towards Grasso. I just feel like she's the fighter with a lot of momentum, and she has more tools at this stage of her career. Now, that being said, I could absolutely be wrong. Valentina's skill set and her fight IQ and her experience could give her a solid chance, especially if she follows a disciplined game plan. A lot could depend on how she adjusts from the last fight. If she plays it safe, fights smart, and avoids those risky mistakes, like that spinning kick that cost her in the first fight, this trilogy could easily swing back in her favor. Another thing to consider is Valentina's ability to handle pressure. After being at top for so long, she knows what it takes to perform under the spotlight, but Grasso has the confidence from her previous win, and that could be dangerous too. Valentina has to stay composed, avoid unnecessary risk, and stick to what works. If she can combine her striking with the grappling and the ring control, there's no reason why she couldn't walk away with her hand being raised. At the end of the day, while I'm still going to go Grasso, it's important to acknowledge that Valentina's experience and her adjustments could very well surprise us all. At the end of the day, it's going to be a close fight, but I'm going to go with Grasso. But who are you guys going for in this fight? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.